Alright, today's lessons that I will be teaching you guys is that DJing is for everyone. It is not just for extroverts. It's not just for people that like to go to parties. It's for everybody. You can do this for yourself. You can do this for friends. It's like cooking yourself a nice little meal, you know? It's like if you love music, then you're gonna love DJing because you get to play all of your own favorite music. And you get to play songs that get everybody super excited. It's just a fun time overall. I'm going to teach you how to start for free. I'm going to teach you when you're ready to put a little bit of money into it. I'm going to teach you what kind of software you want to use, what kind of hardware you want, how to find your music, what all the buttons on the controllers do. I'm going to teach you some basic, just kind of like how to mix two songs together and how to transition two songs together. A little bit about tips for playing in person and also virtually. And then some quick little do's and don'ts about everything. Yeah. So, my dear, beautiful students, my beautiful, beautiful people out there. I see you guys. Yeah. Oh, hold on. What did I do? Hold on. I just broke something on my side. Hold on. Okay, we're still back. So, if you know me, hello, Tabemonos, if you know me. If you do not know me, my name is MomoCon. I am part of V4Mirais, second generation Panelite. Your groovy, funky, retro cutie, MomoCon. I am a DJ, artist, and retro gamer. I really like retro stuff. I really love music. Especially, I'm really into the underground club scene in Japan and the UK. Those are kind of my favorite things right now. So I play a lot of that kind of music personally. I have played at a lot of conventions. I played at Offkai, AWA with Moe Shop. Played a Fantastic Reality. I've played in a couple venues all across the US. And I play a lot in VR chat also. So if you're somebody like me that doesn't really like going outside, you can do this from the comfort of your own home. You can be a bedroom raver. And that is such a cool thing to be, honestly. So, we're gonna get right into it. I wanna tell you why DJing is for everyone. In my time as a DJ, I've heard a lot of people talk about how oh, you know, DJ is not my thing. I'm not that kind of person. You know, I'm not the kind of person that goes to clubs, blah, 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 blah. Well, to be honest, right? To be completely honest with you guys, I'm not either. I am not the kind of person that goes to clubs either. I'm too shy for that. I'm a VTuber. I'm an introvert. You know, there's a reason I like doing everything from my bedroom, right? And the truth is that I've been able to play sets for up to 4,000 people at a time from the comfort of my bedroom. And I think it's something really special. And I don't think enough people are talking about how you can do this from your room. You can do this from the comfort of your own home. Or if you want to take it to the stage, if you're somebody that does like that spotlight, you can do that too. So if you're thinking like, oh, MomoCon, but DJing looks so hard. Well, if you've ever made a playlist, if you've ever made a mixtape, if you've ever just like been hanging out with your friends and you're picking the music videos or you're in the car and they give you the aux cord, that's basically DJing, you know? DJing doesn't have to be mixing and doing those fancy blends and transitions. You know, you don't have to like be doing anything crazy, right? Let me play my music again. You can just do it for yourself. It's like cooking a tasty little meal for yourself. DJing is collecting music plus creating a vibe and sharing your favorites. And that's really what it comes down to, right? You can be a little chef making pizza rolls in your house as a little treat for yourself. Or you can be a big Michelin star chef and be cooking up vibes for a whole crowd, right? So, let's talk a little bit more about how to start for free. So, I am a big believer of you shouldn't spend your money on a bunch of expensive gear when you're just starting out, because first of all, it makes you look like a poser. Sorry, I had to say it. And second of all, right, like, what if you don't like it? What if it's just not your vibe? Or what if you're like, you decide, like, nah, you know, like, I'm not gonna do anything. So, my biggest recommendation, and I think a lot of DJs will tell you this, there is a free software called Virtual DJ, and it is good. It is good, and it is free. And let me repeat that for you. It is good, and it is free. Yeah. I had to do the echo for emphasis. But basically, it works really well because it can simulate a DJ controller with just your mouse and keyboard. And honestly, it's just as good as the paid stuff. Virtual DJ is really good to start off with because you will have the same controls, basically the same layouts as all the fancy club standard, industry standard software. But you don't have to pay anything. And then even if you do have a controller, you can plug this into Virtual DJ, mess around with things, and it looks, you know, it sounds great. I have a lot of friends, both like, you know, casual DJs and also like big professional DJs that use Virtual DJ for many, many things, right? Like some people just use it to get started with. Some people use it as a way to, this might be a little advanced, but as a way to simulate or emulate additional tracks on a controller. So if you only have like a two-track controller or a 4-track controller, you can use Virtual DJ to emulate like 6 tracks and then get even crazier with your stuff, right? But that's advanced stuff. So, Virtual DJ, if you are interested, look it up. I really, really, really recommend it. It's very fun to just start playing around with, and you can learn everything. You can learn all the good stuff of DJing off of Virtual DJ. But let's say you're playing with Virtual DJ, right? And you're ready, and you're like, okay, Monomone, I'm ready to elevate this. I'm ready to really get into it. So, you want to look at some software, right? Some software and some hardware. So to kind of give you an intro here, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Yeah, you can. Okay. So there's 3 big companies that you're going to hear or that you're going to see for software when you start DJing. You're gonna hear a lot about Rekordbox, you're gonna hear a lot about Traktor, and you're gonna hear a lot about Serato. These are the 3 big softwares that people use, like the 3 big industry standards. I personally use Rekordbox, but I have a lot of friends that use the other 2. They all generally work the same. You just want to be familiar with at least one of these. But the thing that usually, like, rather than you picking out which software you want, usually the controller that you get, the hardware that you get, will have a license that's tied to this controller. So for example, say you buy a Pioneer DDJ FLX4, which is, in my opinion, the best controller you can get as a beginner. It's about $340. This thing will... It's Pioneer is kind of like the industry standard. They're called Alpha Theta now or something. I don't know. They rebranded. But Pioneer DDJ FLX4 is like the standard for beginners. I use the DDJ 400. It's the model that existed before this one. But the new one is the FLX4. I think almost every DJ will tell you, yeah, that is a great controller to start off with. It works with Rekordbox, which is like the club standard too. If you decide to take it a little further, then you already have Rekordbox and everything like that. Here's some other recommendations. There's the Traktor MX2. It's $400. Or the Hercules Impulse 500. It's also $350. Which one of these you decide to get, or if you decide to get something else, they all have the same buttons for the most part. The different softwares have like slightly different features, but for the most part, it's the same thing, right? For the most part, it's all the same thing. You just want to pick one of these and then get used to your controller. These beginner controllers, or these like smaller controllers, are what are called, they call them 2-track controllers. And I'll explain what makes like 2 tracks versus 4 tracks versus 6 tracks later on, right? But basically, to summarize it a little bit right now, it's how many tracks you can blend at the same time, right? So I have a 2-track controller. It means that I can have 2 songs on at the same time, and I can blend those. Bigger, fancier DJ controllers will have 4 tracks. You can play 4 songs at the same time. Someone's honking, excuse me. And, 6-track means you can have like 6 controllers, things like that. Does that make sense? Right? I think it should be pretty decently easy to understand. So, on to the next one. Something that you will need as a DJ. Oh my god, my picture's cut off. What happened to me? Why am I cut off? Oh, there we go. Something that you will need as a DJ is you are going to need a lot of music. And I mean like a lot, like a lot. If you are not somebody that usually collects your own music, you can connect your Spotify to your software, right? I'm kind of a Spotify hater, so I don't really do that. I collect my own music. I have all my files, all my lossless files, and I carry them around in a USB if I ever need to like play somewhere else, things like that. But some of the places that you can get music and a lot of good music is you can go on Bandcamp. Bandcamp, in my opinion, is like the marketplace for getting music directly from artists, and there is really, really, really good music on Bandcamp. Most musicians put their stuff up on here. There's a lot of free music on Bandcamp. There's a lot of music for free. And if you are somebody that really likes supporting the artist, Bandcamp even does a thing every, once a month or so called Bandcamp Friday, where 100% of the profit from the music goes directly to the artist, and Bandcamp takes 0 fees. So it's a pretty nice deal, right? If you want to get stuff directly from the musicians. There's SoundCloud, which is a little bit more of where the remix kind of bootleg scene is. Bootleg, by the way, versus a remix. A bootleg is a remix that's unofficial, so done without permission, and a remix is an official remix, right? So you can go to SoundCloud to find a lot of stuff like that. A lot of the crazier mixes tend to be hiding on SoundCloud. A lot of the more underground artists that are starting out, starting to get big in the scene, they're hiding out on SoundCloud. So you do not want to ignore SoundCloud. It's a really good thing. If you are somebody that likes kind of having your stuff a little bit fancier, maybe you got a lot of money, something like that. There's stuff like Beatport. Beatport is a music library subscription service. You pay a subscription to them, and you get access to all of their money, not all their money. God, I wish, to all of their music, right? So you can you connect it to your DJ software, and you can just kind of pick and choose from their stuff without having a huge collection yourself, right? And they've got some really good music on there. A lot of artists will work with Beatport to put their stuff on there, so you can get their music direct. And the last thing that I recommend. This is a little more on the, sailing the 7 seas side of the internet. But there is a software called SoulSeek. SoulSeek, it's pretty similar to things like LimeWire, Casa, things like that. It's a peer-to-peer service. But there is a really, really big amount of the music scene hiding out in SoulSeek. So you can find a lot of curated lists of music. You can download a lot of music here. Of course, the music is free, so at some point you want to, support the artists that you're getting music from. But it would be a mistake to not mention SoulSeek, because even major artists will tell you SoulSeek is where it's at, right? You don't want to ignore it, because that's where the music scene is at, right? So these are places where you can get music. You need a lot of music. A 1-hour DJ set will usually require anywhere from 20 to 50 songs. It depends on how much you mix, on how long you make each song play for. But you're going to need a lot of songs for a single DJ set, right? And your standard DJ set is about an hour. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting to play the music for you guys. Hold on, we're gonna listen to something else too. Sorry, I'm just playing. I'm playing this live for you guys. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, so let's go on to the next one here. So let's talk about the basics. Let's talk about the basics. Let me put a song that's going to show you a little bit better of how all of this works. Hold on. Where's my playlist? Here we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, so let me get my big pointer, my big old pointer out. Where is it? Alright, let me scooch over to the side a little bit. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of pointers of what each button does. This is what my controller looks like, so I'm just gonna show you based off of this. But just a little basics of what you do. So, the main part that you want to pay attention to right now is the middle, right here, right? Here you have the load buttons and the little, like, knob that helps you select tracks. These are just, like, you use these to choose songs. It's just like a little dial that scrolls. Each one of these load buttons corresponds to the mixers on each side. This one corresponds here. This one goes here, right? So if you load a song here, it'll go on this track. If you load a song here, it'll go on this track. If you kind of notice, most of the controller is like symmetrical, right? If you split it down in half, everything on this side kind of corresponds to whatever track is playing on this side. Everything on this side kind of corresponds to whatever's playing on this side, right? So right here is one of the main things. You have the cue buttons. Usually when you DJ, you have headphones plugged into your controller. So you can queue up songs and hear whatever song you are trying to blend in without the audience hearing it, right? It's really useful for when you're trying to blend something. So these are what are called like the volume faders. So for example, I'm gonna turn this one low. You can't hear anything, and then I'm gonna turn it up. Like that. This little thing here is called the crossfader. I don't use this too much personally, but a lot of people, it's the only thing they use. So it just depends on your style, right? You can use it to switch between two songs. Here, I'm gonna play another song. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do these two songs. We'll do these two songs here. So for example, I've got two songs playing. I can switch it on one side. I can switch it all the way to this side so that it only plays this song. Or I can flip it real quick and it plays the other song. You can do some crazy stuff with this, right? Like that, you see? Yeah, you kind of get it? You kind of get it? Okay, so let's talk about the knobs here. These are one of the most important things you're going to need as a DJ. So basically, the ones at the very top are the trim. They're labeled trim. This determines how loud everything is, right? So for example, if I turn it down like this, it gets really quiet. And I turn it up, the music gets pretty loud. There is the buttons here. This is your highs, your mids, and your lows. I'm gonna turn the highs I'm gonna turn the highs off basically so you can hear what it sounds like. You see, it kind of has that effect. Or if I turn it the other way, like that, right? These are the mids. It's subtle, but you can kind of hear the difference, right? Like that. These are the lows. I use the lows a lot. You can kind of really like play. You can play a lot with the sounds here. It makes it really interesting. Alright, and then on here, these are the fun ones. These are the filters. You can set what filter goes to these, but this is where you can do this kind of cool stuff. Like that. Let's go! Like that. I love this song, it's really fun. So you kind of get what that does, right? These little lights on the middle obviously just show you how loud the music is on each channel. Take this with a grain of salt, but some DJs like to joke that if you're not redlining, you're not headlining. But some DJs will like beat you up for that, so take that however you will. On this side, you have just the overall volume knobs. You can change the volume balance between what the audience is hearing, like what the main sound is, versus what is on your Q headphones. You also just have like the general volume level of everything if you want to change it. And you can plug in your microphone to a lot of controllers. So if you're somebody that likes doing a lot of like audience work, if you really like talking to the crowd, right? I like talking to the crowd a lot and being like, yeah, turn me up, or like counting down right before the bass drops, like stuff like that. It's really fun, right? It hypes up the crowd. On this side, here you have the master level, and these are just kind of like the beat effects. You can kind of choose what effects you want. Something I use a lot is I use the echo. So for example, you can kind of play with it like that. And you can change that. There's usually a little switch. You can change it to be either track 1, track 2, or like everything, right? I'm just gonna describe one of these. Basically, everything that is on one of these sides applies to the other side, but just for each track. So let's get another track going. Let's see. Alright, this one. Okay. So, you have... this is your play button and your Q button. Play button, plays and pauses, obviously. Q button, you can set a Q in the software. Here, let me see if I can show you. You can set a Q. This is what my software looks like as I'm doing this, by the way. You can set a Q on here and it'll set it like to start there immediately. So mine is set at the beginning. If I press Q, it'll go right back to the beginning. If I hold down Q, it'll play the music like this. Just as long as I hold it down, right? You can get creative with it. It's pretty fun. Right? Let me hide that real quick. So, these right here. How are we on time? Okay, we're pretty good still. Where's my pointer? Where's my pointer? There we go. This is the tempo button. So let me play some music. So this is a tempo slider. It's pretty self-explanatory. Right? You can get real fast with it. And the middle is the normal point, right? This right here is some people call it like the jogger, the wheel. I just kind of call it the Dex. I don't know. People call it different names every way, right? This is what you do scratching with. My controller's not very good for scratching, but it'd be like this. I suck at scratching. I'm so bad at scratching. I'm so bad at scratching, but you get the point, right? You can also use this, so if you touch the top, it scratches. If you touch the sides, it just moves your pointer to like a certain point in the song without scratching. You can use that to your advantage as well, obviously. What else? Then we have... We've got the buttons here. These are mostly just like beat jump to kind of like do specific loops. When you start playing with loops and setting cue points and stuff like that, you can use these buttons to jump through them. You can use these buttons to skip ahead 4 beats, or you can set how much. You can set like an active loop. You can really tightly control all of that stuff. But one of the most important things, I think, to a beginner DJ is the beat sync button here. Some people call it the drunk DJ button. This will automatically sync the beat of 2 songs that you have. You should learn how to do this manually. It's kind of like, you know, when you drive a car, like, you should probably learn how to drive manual, but it's fine if you do it automatic, right? Like, but you're cooler if you do it manually. But I use this all the time. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you're having fun, right? And then lastly, these buttons here. These are programmable buttons. You have at the top, you have like a hot cue, so you can set like a cue of where you want a song to start. You have a beat loop, which you can set for example, every 4 bars or something to loop. I use this a lot. You have the beat jump, so you can program it to, like, you know, this button will skip forward 8 beats or 32 beats or something like that. And then you have the sampler, which you can... I don't have any samples installed, so I can't demonstrate that for you. But you can set samples. You can put, I don't know, like the horn, or you can have, I don't know, your favorite Hololive girl screaming or saying something silly, something like that. And you can put it there, and you can play around with it. So I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to show you really quick how to put this in motion, showing you the basics of mixing. So let me pull up. Where is Cranking My Cyberhog? Hold on. I love this song. Cranking My Megatech Body Co.Limited Cyberhog. Alright. This song is really good. So, every song, you should be able to start kind of like recognizing the parts of a song. Every song has an intro, the build-up, and then like the meat of it, as demonstrated by... This is the intro right here. This is the build-up. And then, so right now, we're just about to finish the intro. Alright, this is the build-up right here, where right now we're at this part right here. Right? And then it's gonna go into... This is technically like where, like, some people would say like, oh, this is where it drops. This is the most intense part of the song. And you can tell, you see these little lines here, right? It'll usually have it labeled by like highs, mids, and lows. So you can kind of read what the song is gonna be like even without really knowing, right? So we're now in like the intense part of the song, right? This is like the intense part. There's usually a breakdown around here. I'm gonna skip forward to it. There's a little breakdown. This is a good point to do any emceeing if you want. And then, you know, it keeps going, right? For these, obviously you want to use these buttons, right? I showed you how to do the filters. Like that. You do the samples. I'm gonna put up my... Let me put up the capture of my record box so I can show you how these... Oh, one thing, sorry. So I can show you how this works. Hold on. So... I want you to pay attention to the track that's moving right now. I'm gonna do... I'm gonna set a hot cue. There we go. So I set a cue there. Cues are really useful for if you're like, oh, I want this song to blend in at this point, or I want to be able to skip to this point really easily, right? And then you can do like loops. Hold on. There's a loop right there. And then you can get even shorter. You can do some cool stuff with these. You know, stuff like that, right? You kind of get it, right? Now, I'm going to show you really quick the basics of mixing 2 songs together. Just so that you kind of see it in motion. Let's see what we got. Hold on. I want to do... There's a song from Jet Set Radio I really like mixing. Let Mom Sleep with there's a drum and bass song I really like called For Your Brain. I love this mix a lot. No, stop. No, but let me be with you. No, I want let mom sleep, not let me be with you. There we go. Let's look at the fun. 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 You see how I have a bunch of cue points here? I use this. I opened some DJ sets with this, so I had a bunch of cue set of where I want the next song to start. So pay attention to that a little bit. I turn it up a little bit. Look at the fun. Alright, hold on. It's coming up, it's coming up. I'm gonna turn up, you can probably see it around here, I'm gonna turn up my the volume on the other slider so I can get ready. Alright, got all my stuff ready. I'm gonna cue at this B point right here. That's when I'm gonna start my other song. Alright, and here we go! You're wasting my airtime. Down. You're wasting my airtime. Like that. Oh, I wish you could see my hand right now. Add some filter. Take away the filter a little bit. I'm having both songs playing right now because it sounds pretty cool, right? Because if I take off one song, it's just this, right? And this is cool, but I want the vibes of this song too, because I wanted them to work together. So, as you can see, both of these songs are kind of like both in a chill point, so I can play them both at the same time. When it reaches this like point where the blue comes in, that's when I'm going to stop the Jet Set Radio song. Check this out, check this out. Do a filter. Let's go, like that. Alright, trying to get it, huh? Alright, so that's a basic transition, right? That's a basic blend. All I really did with that is I linked up two slow points in a song, and then kind of like built up hype with both of them, and then immediately switched to the other one for that bit of drama, you know? For that bit of drama. Very, very fun. So, as far as what songs mix with each other, honestly, you can mix any song you want with each other. Generally, you want to keep them around the same BPM. And if you know music theory, you might recognize this like wheel. If you don't, that's fine. I don't know anything about music, and I still love the DJ, so it's fine. But generally, certain keys, match well with others. So if you want easy mixing, easy blending, you probably want to learn these, or you probably want to pay a little bit of attention, right, to what you need to do. So one rule that I do want to mention is when you're mixing, you probably want to keep the tempo within 10%. You don't really want to go too fast of the original speed, or too slow, because then the song starts it doesn't break, and you can still do this, right? It's DJing. You take all rules with a grain of salt and do it your own way. But it kind of keeps the song sounding good still. It keeps the original rhythm, right? Song Clash is about love. Alright, let's go on to the next step. Something that's really cool. You can do this, like I said, on the stage or in your room. If you are playing in real life, if you're going to be playing real life stages, real life shows, something that you want to have ready is you want to have a USB flash drive ready with your music. Not all of your music, but what people call a crate. So you want to gather I don't know, maybe 100, 200 songs. Like the songs that you know you're gonna use, put them on a USB drive. Make sure you export it properly with your software. And ideally, you want to have lossless music. You want to have FLAC or WAV files. If you roll up to a club that has really nice speakers with an MP3 file that you ripped off of YouTube, it is going to sound like booty. It is going to sound real bad. This happened to me once. The very first time that I got to play on a nice sound system, they're like, wow, Monomone, why does your music sound so like, why does it sound like that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what happened? Well, it turns out I was playing MP3s from my iPod Nano when I was a little teenager. So don't be like me. Don't make the same mistake. Download lossless music. It is worth it. It is worth it for if you're going to play in real life. If you're going to play online, if you don't have any plans to make it out of your bedroom to play, or if you just want to play for yourself or for friends, or if you want to be like a VR chat DJ or like YouTube DJ or something like that, OBS is your friend. The way that people do this online is we just hook it up through OBS. You do audio capture for everything. You stream it to YouTube, Twitch, and you can stream it to VR chat using a system or like a service called VR CDN. Basically, it's just another streaming service. You pay their Patreon like a couple dollars a month. They give you a really low latency server to stream to. And then you just punch that into any video player in any VR chat world, or really anything similar, you know, that you would want to stream. As far as I know, even like those crazy like FF14 club raves that they do, I've never been to one. I've only seen the videos. They look crazy. But this is the same thing. Like somebody streams it to a service and everybody just listens to it. And it can be really, really fun to do this online. I host for my community a twice a year event called Tabemono Fest. It's an event where I help my community learn how to DJ, and then I give them a stage to DJ on. We host a big music festival in VR chat. We stream it, and then we get some big names as well, so that everybody gets a chance to have their very first stage and big names that motivate them to do their best. We've had like over 20 plus new DJs, and everybody has a really cool style. Very, very, very cool. If you are somebody that does this kind of thing or likes playing VR games or something like that, I invite you to join next time. Probably we're going to be hosting one this summer with all new DJs, as well as maybe inviting some special Japanese guests. Yeah, it's very, very fun. You can do this just for your friends. I like to do this kind of thing like on a regular basis, and it's very fun to get involved with the music community no matter what you're doing. So, some quick do's or don'ts. Let me put some more music on. Hold on. What do we play? Crap. This is the hardest part of being a DJ, is deciding what you want to play. It's the hardest part. Hold on. We're gonna play the song Daria Core for rhythm game nerds. Let's go. This song is really silly. Alright, so we're gonna talk about some do's and don'ts real quick. Some do's and don'ts of DJing. Do act like the buttons are super hot to look cool. So, you know, you're like twisting the knob, right? And you're like, oof, ouch, it's so hot. You know, you let go. You ever see like DJ videos where like, you know, they're like doing all the cool like blends and everything. And, you know, you just like, they twist the knob and it's like, oof, ouch, it's so hot, right? Makes you look cool. You definitely get crazy with it. You know, if you want to have a crazy DJ persona, sure, go for it. If you want to aura farm while you're up on the decks, why not? It's fun. This is all about having fun. You do not want to overthink it or overcomplicate it. You just want to have fun. It's all about sharing music. You don't want to be that pretentious jerk in the corner that every DJ's worst enemy is other DJs, like half of the time, because there's always gonna be that jerk in the corner with his arms crossed. It's like, yeah, I could do this better. Whatever. It's not about doing it better. It's about having fun. But some dues that you want to pay attention to just to become a better DJ is you want to know your music well. If you know your music well, you will just know how to blend it easily. You will have a lot of fun, right? Another big tip that I have is have a bunch of longer songs for when you have to pee. This is specifically if you are going to be doing things virtually. There are some times where I'm doing like a DJ set on YouTube and those go on for like 3 hours and I'm usually drinking at the same time, and oh my god, there are some times where you just gotta go. And so what do? You put on a song that's like 5, 6, 7 minutes long and you just let it play and you go do your business. It'll save you your life, right? Play with friends. There's a thing in DJ culture called a B2B, right? There's a thing called a B2B in DJ culture. It stands for... Hold on, let me blend another song. It stands for a back-to-back, which can be... It can be 2 people, it can be 3 people, it can be 4 people. I've seen back-to-backs be even 10 people, where like you do it conga line style, where one person plays a song, then another person runs up to the decks and plays another song, and then you go on and on and on like that, right? And one of the last things that I really gotta say is your music selection matters more than fancy blends. If your music isn't fun to listen to, if you're not playing cool music, how well you blend it and how well you do transitions, it doesn't really matter. If your music is good, you don't even have to do transitions. Some of my favorite DJs don't even bother with that. They just do it like radio style, where one song fades in and the other song fades out, right? And like I said, generally, you kind of just don't, like, try not to rely on YouTube to MP3 rips, unless you're going for that vibe, right? The music I'm playing right now is called Daria Core or Hyperflip. It's meant to be a little cheesy, so some of these songs will be mixed a little bit more crazy style, right? I don't really know how to describe it, but some of these songs will be mixed a little differently. So generally, you want to try and have good quality music, right? It's like cooking, you know? You want high quality ingredients so you can make a high quality meal, right? So that is it! You have DJ School for Babies. You have officially graduated from DJ School for Babies. That's you, by the way. You're a little baby and you have graduated from DJ School for Babies. You are no longer a little baby. Now you are out there and you can hopefully put this knowledge to work and either play music for yourself, play music for others, have fun. You know, especially it's Thursday. It's Thursday and MomoCon, and I know some of you are gonna be in some room parties and stuff like that. If there's any DJs at those room parties, which there usually are, right? Just kind of peek at how the DJ is working the decks, right? Like, peek at it, see if you like it, right? Now you understand a little bit more of how everything works. So you can get into it, and it is really fun. It is very fun. You can play any genre. There's some DJs I know that mostly only play metal music. I like playing a lot of everything, right? Really into Jersey Club lately, but yeah. Do we have time for questions? I don't know if I have a microphone to take questions with. Is that something I can do? Staff, is anybody there? Do I have a chance for questions? In the case that I don't, I have a meet and greet tomorrow at the V4 Midnight booth. You are more than welcome to come by and ask me questions. You can always also ask me on Twitter, on the V4 Midnight Discord. I love talking about this kind of stuff, and I love talking about music. So you can always check in with me. Let me ask him real quick. Hold on. Can I take questions? We'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed everything. Once again, I am Monomone from V4 Midnight's second generation Pedalite. Where'd my twin tails go? There we go. There we go. There we go. So yeah. In the meantime. Oh, I can't take questions? Okay, cool. Yay! Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna put my record box up on here. Yeah. If any of you have any questions, please feel free. I would love to answer anything. Hi! Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you just fine. Oh, thank you. Oh my god, yay! Wah. Oh. Awesome! Thank you! Ooh. Oh, thank you. There's a chance your dad's deck might be a little bit on the older side. It depends on what he has. But you should still be able to get stuff working. Everything kind of works the same. Even like vinyl mixing kind of works the same way. So if you just kind of like press some buttons and experiment, it should all work the same. Oh, that's not old at all, though. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Personally, I don't use any subscriptions. I am a broke girl. I get by with what I got. All I have is me and my several terabytes of lossless music, and I think that's, if you ask me, that's the ideal way. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. Come on. Yeah, I can hear you. Flare! Oh my god! Yeah! Yeah! I've seen him play a shelter a lot. Awesome! We gotta get you in there. Awesome! Well, Flare, I know you just walked away, but if you ever need anything, let me know. Hi! Oh my god, yeah! Hi! Oh my god, absolutely. Nice to see you. Thanks for saying hi. Hello. Oh yeah, hi. Oh my god. Yeah. Not that much. I tend to not get too crazy usually when I'm like live because I get anxious, you know? I don't really want to mess it up. But some of my friends have been playing around with that and it does seem like, I mean, if it sounds good, just go with it, you know? I think you have plenty of experience. You honestly might have even more experience than I do. So I think I'd go for it. I don't really have any advice regarding that, but yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming. All right, you guys have 3 minutes. Hi. Hi, Nelly. I tend to stay within 10 BPM. It's just a rule that one of my DJ's friends taught me when I was starting out. But if you want to get crazy, as long as the beats match up, or even like as long as the songs just sound good together, I think there's no rules. You can just go crazy. Thank you. I love you too. Bye. Thank you. Yeah. Hello. Don't drop him. Hi. Yeah. For real. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, they do. So it's a little different. Using something like Ableton or FL Studio or things like that, they're a lot better for like recorded sets. If you're somebody that's not really gonna be doing live things, then like yeah, you can just put two songs together with Ableton. Some of the DJs I really admire, like Rice Shower, just does all his sets with like FL Studio, right? You don't really need to have anything. If you want to do it live though, that's what a lot of the other software is best for. Thank you! Hi! Well, what song inspired me to be a DJ? I don't know if there was a specific song, but it was definitely I was doing a collab with another VTuber friend, and she asked me to put together a playlist of music. And I spent all night long like organizing the order of the songs. I was like, "Ooh, this song would sound cool after this one," and everything. And it was just a YouTube playlist. And then afterwards, I shared it with my friends, and one of my DJ friends was like, "Hey, guess what? You're already DJing. Like, this is what DJs do." And at that point, I was like, "Oh, awesome. Okay, I'll bite the bullet. Sure, why not?" One of them gifted me their old controller, and here I am now, teaching you guys. It's very fun. Well, thank you! Hello! Ooh, so I have a group. I have two groups. Sometimes I'll do events through the V4MeetI group. In VR chat, I have my own group as well called Virtual Tabemono. And lately, some of my DJ friends have started like a little collective called Mixed Screens, where we just do like pop-ups and things like that. I'm in PST, so generally I tend to play around that time on the weekends. I will usually post when I'm doing something. But sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just play for fun. I will, if you want to follow me on my Twitter or check out my Twitter, it's just at mono_monet. I can post all the links for the groups and all those kind of places where you can find me. Yay, thank you! Yay, thank you! Is that it? Are we the last? Alright, thank you. Am I all good to disconnect? Thank you so much! Thank you for having me! Bye-bye!